Clerk will read the caption to House Resolutions 996 and 998.
House Resolution 996 by Representative Spirey of the 135th, Smith of the 134th, Hugley of the 136th, Pizold of the 133rd, and Buckner of the 137th, recognizing February 7, 2018 as Columbus Day at the state capitol and for other purposes. House Resolution 998 by Representative Spirey of the 135th, Smith of the 134th, Hugley of the 136th, Pizold of the 133rd, and Buckner of the 137th, recognizing and honoring the establishment of Fort Benning on its centennial anniversary and for other purposes.
Chair recognizes the Minority Caucus Whip, Representative Hugley, on both invite resolutions. Representative Hugley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, we're so excited that today is Columbus Day at the Capitol. In case you haven't heard, it's Columbus Day. And we have our dynamic mayor, Theresa Tomlinson, who's with us today, and she brought you some special gifts that she will talk about. And it is the centennial anniversary of Fort Benning, home of the infantry, and we're so excited and delighted that we have members here that's going to talk about how special Fort Benning is to all of us and to all of you. So Mrs. Spirey is not here, and I prefer that our special guests use our time, so I'm going to yield to our mayor.
Well, thank you, Representative Hugley and Mr. Speaker. To all the distinguished members of the House, it's a great honor and privilege to be here. I'm Mayor Theresa Tomlinson, the proud mayor of Columbus, Georgia. On behalf of our 10 city councilors, our city manager, Mr. Isaiah Hugley, and our 200,000 proud Georgian citizens, we thank you for the opportunity to be here today. Columbus is the second largest city in the state of Georgia. We are the 16th largest consolidated government in the United States of America. We also are home to the best military training base in the world, the Fort Benning Maneuver Center of Excellence, which is celebrating its centennial this year and is so ably commanded by General Eric Wesley. We're home to the international headquarters of AFLAC, Synovus, and TSIS, and we also are home to the longest urban whitewater course in the world. So if you're ever interested in some urban whitewater rafting, come on down. If you come down, I'll get in that raft with you personally and take you down the Chattahoochee River. We want to invite you tonight to the depot at 5 o'clock. You're going to have a long day, and we want to cap it off just right. So come, let's have some fellowship. There'll be some fabulous food and some libations for your great service. Thank you for what you do for the state of Georgia. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Also, if you notice, you have a denim bag today. You can thank us later. Do we have any veterans in the house? All right, I think all the veterans need to stand because we're going to bring forward General Wesley, and he's going to tell us about Fort Benning.
Well, good morning. I think I just determined that I'm going rafting with Mayor Tomlinson soon. I'm Eric Wesley. I command Fort Benning, Georgia. It's an honor to be here with you today. It's an honor to speak to this chamber. It's an honor to travel here with my mayor as part of Columbus Day. And I also want to thank you for the resolution, the proclamation honoring this centennial year for Fort Benning. On behalf of Command Sergeant Major Burzak and I, we thank you for that honor. But the point I would make you today is that honor has less to do with the United States Army than it has to do with the people of Georgia and specifically the people of Columbus. And I just want to tell you a quick story, if I might. It wasn't the Army that had the vision of Fort Benning. Most posts around our nation were established because of a war or conflict of the past, whether it was West Point because of the Revolutionary War or Fort Bliss because of the Mexican-American War. Fort Benning is different, and it's different because of the vision of the people of Georgia and that of the leaders of Columbus. Because in 1917, they recognized that the world was changing. and that Columbus and Georgia could be part of a rising nation. And they lobbied to establish a post in 1918. So here we are in the centennial year. I share that story with you for two reasons. The first reason is the world is changing again. And with that comes great risk and great opportunities. And with Fort Benning, a place where you have touched the world by virtue of those you've raised in this community, you have the opportunity to be a part of this changing world. The second reason I share that story with you is because that vision, that leadership that I described of 1917 has legacy and DNA connected to the leaders in Columbus that I serve with every day. And so Mayor Tomlinson and the president of the chamber, Brian Anderson, have that same vision. And so we are partnering now for investments in Columbus and the Chattahoochee Valley region as the Army changes, as our military changes, and we adapt to a changing world. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having us today. God bless each and every one of you. One force, one fight.